Hey everybody, this is Michelle Sizemore. I'm a Creative Memories advisor, and today you'll learn how to make this 2-page layout using our new collection called Your Own Way. And I use the new border tools with the curvy side of one of the tools. And I'm going to show you how this goes, and let's get started. This is everything I used. These are my instructions. I wrote them down on an index card just to help me with the video. I used some black sticker letters. I used these cards from the Your Own Way collection. And these papers. Since it's a 2-page layout, I used 2 pieces of this. And I use these colors of cardstock. I love the color combinations in this collection a lot. Now, I want to show you just a little organizing tip. I've already pre-cut these, so sometimes when you're scrapbooking, you end up with border punches and cut things and all. I like to store them inside this, it's like a hard pocket that's just open at the top. And it just keeps things from sliding around and kind of separates it from everything else in my Power Project folder. I do want to show you, this is an example of a Power Project folder. I would write Your Own Way up here at the top. There's a little place to put that. And then it's got these pockets. There's a horizontal pocket, 2 rectangle pockets. On the other side, it's got 2 long rectangle pockets where you could put sticker strips, border strips, things like that. And then you have a lot of room on this inside. And I have everything that goes with this collection. Here's the project playbook. All the papers are in here. And I just want to show you something that I do. I like to take all the embellishments out of their original packaging and put them on plastic with my repositionable tape runner. I just use a little dab of repositional tape runner just so that I can see them all. This collection comes with a lot of embellishments. I have 2 of each here just because I'm going to be using this collection a lot, but I kind of organize them by color. There's lots of pretty colors in here. You can use the Power Layout guides that come with the Power Layout box with Creative Memories. You can order an extra set of those and just use them for things like this. And when you use them up, you can just reuse them because you put them on here with a little bit of tape runner, repositionable tape runner, and they come right off. So that is just a way I like to organize to be able to see all of this. Sometimes I'll put them in the sort and stash binder. Sometimes I'll just put them in this Power Project folder depending on how I'm using them. So I'm going to put those in here, and I just wanted you to see how those fit in there. And then you can also put things in this top loading pocket. It's designed to fit down in here as well. It gives you like another pocket to separate things and keep them organized. So I love these Power Project folders. It's like one of my favorite things that we have. And I also opened several packs of the embellishments with the months, and I put these on here. I'm going to be using this collection all year. This is a collection that goes throughout the year, and then when they come out with the simple page kits, those will coordinate with this collection. Not all of our collections stay around all year. Some of them go really fast, but this one is designed to be like a core product for 2026. So, and I'm going to show you, I'm just going to put all of these in here as well. So you can get a lot of stuff in these Power Project folders to keep yourself organized. And then at home, when I'm scrapbooking at home, I'll just store these on my cube shelves. Most of you probably know what I'm talking about, like the cube shelves from IKEA. I actually got mine at Wayfair because I wanted my squares to be a little bit bigger. My squares in my cubes are 13.5 by 13.5. I wanted that. It just works better for me than the ones from IKEA. Okay, enough about that part. So let's just get started with making this layout. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with this cardstock, and I'm going to show you how to cut the ribbons. I call these ribbons. So this is like, it makes me think of a birthday. That's why I put happy birthday on there. Let's go this way. Sorry. So it kind of looks like streamers coming down. So, you know, you could also revise this and use, do it for winter. This actually goes with the January stickers, or just revise it for basically anything. It's just a basic page, but any kind of celebration. So let's get started on making the ribbons. So first we need our mat. I'm using the new blue mat that we have. It comes with the with a ruler that fits over this. We're going to use this border ruler. It's got a curvy edge. It's got a ripple edge. And then there's another one that goes with the set that does two different edges. But we're going to use this curvy edge on this page. I love this blue mat and all of the grid lines. They show up really nicely with white so that you can see them really well. And I really like this blue mat. Now currently I have some of these in stock. They came in a set with the ruler that fits over this. So I do have some of those in my personal inventory at home. They're sold out at Creative Memories at this time. So if you guys want one, you can, my information will be at the bottom of this video, my website link. It'll also be in the comments of the YouTube channel. Okay, and they are coming back with this at some point this year. I'm just not exactly sure when. Okay, so let's make a streamer with this pretty purpley color paper. I love this paper. It goes with the collection. Okay, I need my notes to make sure I do this right. I took a little time to figure it out, so y'all don't have to. You can just go by my measurements. So we put the cardstock all the way to the very top of the mat. All the way to the top, and we're going to line it up at this 2-inch mark right here. So it's all the way at the top. Make sure it's straight all the way at the top. And it's lined up at the 2-inch mark, following that white line. The 2 is right up here. So I'm just going to place this. This is designed so that this part is raised, and this is the base. And it's got like a little gripper there so it doesn't slide on you. I'm just going to look at this, and I'm going to use the red blade. So it's going to come right beside here. So I just want to give myself enough room for it to cut and not to waste paper. So I'm going to use the red blade. You put these 2 little notches inside this track right here. So I'm going to get the notches, oops, in the track. Excuse me, I'm a little bit hoarse. Okay. And I'm going to go up and then work my way all the way down. I'm pressing pretty firmly since I'm going around curves. You want to press more firm than if you're just cutting a straight line or something, because it needs to get around all the curves. Now you might find, since I put this all the way at the top, that there's a little edge you just have to pull off. You might have to take your micro scissors and just give it a little snip, or you could just kind of rub it with your fingernail. It'll probably come off. Okay, so now the next trick is you want to move this over to the 2-inch mark on your mat, where the widest swells line up with the 2-inch mark. This one, and this one, and then move it all the way down. So you're moving it over and down. And that is so that you can get the look of the uneven streamers. I love the look of it, or ribbons. It almost looks like ribbons. So let's just make sure we're lined up where the outer swells are at the 2-inch mark. Okay, and it's all the way at the bottom, and it's straight. Now the other trick you need to remember is we're going to look at this inside edge of this piece of the border tool, the inside edge, and move it over to 2.5 inches. I just played with this long enough and wrote down the measurements that worked best for me. So it's at 2.5 inches. So now we're going to cut. Going to put the 2 little plastic knobs in the track and cut just the same way we did the other time. And that gives us the look that I want. It's such a pretty look. It's like a ribbon that gets wider and skinnier, and it's just a cool look. Okay, so you're going to cut 3 ribbons. Well, 3 ribbons for each side, so a total of 6. I'm not going to cut all 6. In fact, that's the only one I'm going to cut. I'm just showing you. You would do it out of these 3 colors. And these 3 colors of cardstock are actually packaged to go with this collection. So you can purchase those on the website to go with the Your Own Way collection. They're also sold in packs of 10 of each color. So anyway, I'm going to set all of this aside and grab my paper. Done with that mat for the moment. This is the background paper. It has all the colors that go in the collection, and I just think it's so pretty. And so I'm not going to actually go through and make these 2 pages because I want to save time on this video to go as fast as it can. But I want to show you how I put it together. So we're going to create this left-hand side. So I need to get, these are already pre-cut. I've already pre-cut these to save time, but I did them the way I just showed you. So basically, I'm going to move this other page out of the way for the moment. So I'm going to set this here to look at, but I'm going to recreate it right here. And it takes a little maneuvering to get this right, but this is how I chose to do it. So one edge of this is going to be wider and one edge is going to be a little pointy, and I am going to take my repositionable scissors and cut that little edge just because since I moved that all the way to the top of my mat, sometimes the very far edge needs a little snip to make it even. So I'm just going to place this here. I'm going to grab this mat. The mat I showed you before was a cutting mat. It's like thick and firm. It's a cutting mat. This one is just a mat that we use the repositionable tape runner on. I was able to get this from Creative Memories, but we don't have it at this time. But you can use any kind of a silicone mat. They make them for use in the kitchen. It's like a floppy mat. You can get them at craft stores. If you don't want to go get one of these, you can use like wax paper from your kitchen, or you could use it on cardboard. Just know that you'll end up needing to throw that cardboard away over time because it'll get some sticky adhesive on it. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over and put some repositionable tape runner on the back in little dabs. I'm going to try to make sure I get one in the wide part, one in the skinny part, one dab in the wide part, and then get the ends really well. Okay, and maybe one more right here. All right, so I'm going to mount this one with the fattest part at the top, just because that's how it worked best over here when I was playing with it. And you want it to meet at the bottom and at the top so that you don't see any extra paper sticking out behind it. So that's the first one. Then we're going to add this light blue one, and this is the direction I chose to do that. So I put it almost against the plum color. I forget the actual name of the paper color, but let's call it plum for now. It's actually got, I think it might be Merlot or something, but I'm going to start it right there with a little white in between and then mount it kind of like that. So this one has the fat part at the top. and the skinny part at the bottom. This one has the skinny part at the top and the fat part at the bottom. And I do see, again, I need to use my micro scissors. Just cut off that little tiny extra piece. Okay, so I'm going to put the tape runner on the back of this the same way I did. I'm going to get the ends really well. A little dab at the skinny part, a dab at the wide part, a dab at the skinny part and the wide part, and get the end really well. So the skinny part goes to the top, and sorry about my voice, man, it's about gone. So it's going to go at the top, and then I am going to mount it, and since I'm using the repositionable tape runner, I'll be able to pick it up and maneuver it a little bit. You can, I think that looks really good. If you want to kind of pick up the underneath one and overlap it a little bit, you can, but I like that. And now the green one, or the teal kind of color, this one has the skinny part at the top and the wide part at the bottom. And again, it's always in that same little spot where I need to snip that off. Okay, so now I'm going to mount this here, and it's going to kind of overlap. So I'm going to mount it down with my repositionable tape runner, but I'm going to be able to pick it up a little bit, and you'll see why that's a good thing in a moment. So let's add the repositionable tape runner the same way I showed you before. The repositionable comes out in clear sticky dots, and it only sticks to where it needs to stick. I'm going to grab some water. Okay, so this one, I think I put my tape on wrong. No, I didn't. Okay, so this one is like the skinny part is at the top. And the fat part, well, let me put the fat part down first because it's hanging past this a little bit. So this is why I like the repositionable. I can pick it up and move it around if I don't place it down correctly in the first place. I want to come in so that there's a little bit of background paper on the edge. So I'm good with that. So that is how I did the ribbons. And you can, if you want to, kind of lift the blue up. And put it over to give it more of a look of being intertwined. I like that. So I'm really happy with that. So you would do the same thing on the other edge, except I did do it a little bit different in that. So here I went teal, blue, plum. And guys, that is not the actual names of this cardstock. I forgot to write those down, but just for teaching purposes. You can look up the name of the colors of cardstock. If you look on the website for the Your Own Way collection, the pack of cardstock will be there. So on this one, I put the Merlot or the plum color on the far right, and the blue in the middle, and the green on the inside. I thought it looked better like that instead of making them exactly the same. But you can make them exactly the same if you want. So the next thing we need to do is this right here. And set all of this aside, and kind of crazy, but oh, here they are. Yeah, here are the cards. So this is how they come in the collection. So I only want to use this, and I can save those to use on something else. So I need to cut that in half. I'm going to take my trimmer. Now our newest trimmer, our photo trimmer, is made so that it nests on top of the big trimmer. I like that very much. It makes packing really easy. We have a trimmer bag where you can nest them on each other, and it fits really well in the trimmer bag. So I'm going to take this off. This is not the one I'm using right now. And we're going to cut these in half. So I'm going to line this up to where I want to cut it right here, straight down the middle. The blade is going to come down on this left-hand side dotted line. So I want to place this to where it looks like this is exactly on the left-hand side dotted line. I can look at the top and at the bottom. And then I can take, there's a little clear piece that you can pull down. It's tucked way up under there, so a lot of people don't even know it's there, but it's very handy. I'm going to pull this down. It has a black line in the middle, and it's going to go along and show me exactly where the blade is going to cut. And it looks like I have this positioned correctly. So I'm going to cut it. It has the straight blade in here. And that did almost perfect. I need to trim a little bit of that brown off. So I'll do that. Sometimes you just still get a little bit. So I'm just going to take my regular scissors and trim that little bitty tiny bit of brown off. You could also do that with your trimmer. Now I'm going to do the same with this one. It looks like it's lined up correctly. I'm going to check it. It's not. I need to move it over just a little bit. A little bit more. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. And again, I didn't get it exact. So I'm actually going to take my trimmer and I'm going to line this up with this right-hand side dotted line. Just to cut that little sliver off that shows that other color. That's all I needed to cut off. Okay, so now these, wait, this is the one. This is the one I need. Sorry. So that didn't even matter because I'm going to save that to use on another project. Okay, so I need these two. Now I want to take this one and do the happy birthday letters. I got a bunch of black letters and I only used lowercase on here so that they would all fit on this little mat. And I just want to show you a trick that I do. I use this Titletopia, which we had a long time ago. So if y'all have this, you can use this to help you line your letters up and position them. If you don't have this, it's okay. You can use a thin piece of plastic. This is very, very thin. You can see how floppy it is, and do the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to grab my mat because I don't want to get sticky on my table. Okay. Actually, I might grab this mat because I think I can see it better since I'm using black letters. This is another one we could get at Creative Memories that we can't get right now, but again, you can use any kind of silicone mat. Or you might be able to find a similar one at a craft store. A scrapbook store. Okay, so we want this to say happy. And I'm just going to grab the letters that I need. The H. And what I want to do is put this so that it is just barely, the bottom of it, is just barely sticking to the top of this template. Can you see that's all that's on there? Because I need to be able to maneuver this and not have too much of it stuck to the top. And I think it's not straight. So there's the H, the A. Now I want to show you something. These centers of these letters, this multi-purpose tool is very handy. If you go to pick up your A, it tends to grab that center with it. So if you'll just hold it down with the pointy part of your multi-purpose tool, hold down that middle, then it stays there. Okay. And then you can actually take these little pieces that look like scraps or trash like this and make little eyeballs or noses or things like it if you want to use to make little things. Okay, so I'm going to just say H-A-P-P-Y And again, I've got that little inside I need to get rid of. I'll just put it back on here. Okay. Now the P is going to come down a lot on the template, but that's okay. I'll show you how you can work with that. I need to get another one to get a P. Here we go. And I'm going to, as I pull it off, I'm going to stick that middle down so it'll stay there. Wow, I think these are different letters. They're like different fonts. Let's see if this one, I think this one might match better. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that looks better. P and a Y. Again, that's the different font. Well, here we go. This might be a different font, but you know, no, I think it's okay. Okay, so I've got that spaced right, okay? And and again, you could use any kind of like very thin, flimsy plastic. Okay, so I want to position that. So this already has this little design on it, and this again, this came with this collection in the Variety Matte Pack. And I already lost my A there. I didn't push it down enough. So I want to line this up. I love doing it this way because you can center it and get it straight. So I want my happy to be right about there. And then I have room to write birthday here. So I'm going to stick the tops of these down with my finger and press. Now, very carefully, you want to peel this out from underneath. So you're going to have to pull up the bottoms of your letters. It helps if you have a little bit of fingernails, but I just trimmed mine, and I don't have much fingernails. So I'm just going to, and you know what? This one came off. It's okay because I'll know exactly where I need to reposition it. And I'm actually going to do that with these two. Okay, so I'm going to be able to pull this out from underneath. There we go. Now, I'm just going to go. Now, I know exactly where these need to go because everything's lined up. And I might need to move that Y over just a tad. I think I need another Y. I don't have another Y. Okay, I kind of messed that up a little, but it is what it is. So I'm going to mount that where it is. So anyway, that just helps you to keep it centered and straight. And then I would do the same thing with the birthday part. So that's how I got that. And then this piece right here on the left-hand side is this one. And basically, I just try to find the one I've already cut that I've misplaced while I'm standing here. And yeah, so I don't see it. And here it is. It's under my mat. Okay, so this looks like this. Now, I want to just draw some faint pencil lines on here because I never write straight, and this could become a journal box. So this is how I do that. I bought this ruler template or lined template on Amazon. I just searched for template to draw straight lines, and I got this. And it might have come off of a Scrapbook website. I can't remember for sure. But I'm going to draw some very faint lines with my pencil. It's just cut out where the lines are. You don't have to do this, but I do it because I write uphill. I don't know why. And this helps me to write straight. So the lines are, I need to redo one of the lines. One of the lines you can't even see. So I'm going to position this again. I think it was right here. Yeah, and the rest are very faint, but I can kind of go over it a little bit. That's enough for me to be able to see it, to journal on it. And then I would just take my black micro Creative Memories pen, and then I would journal on it. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste it, since I could use it on another page. But I would put this here, and then for my photos, I'm just going to hold this up so you can see the measurements. My photos were cut to 4 3/4 horizontal by 3 1/2 vertical. This photo was. And then the mat, I typically, and if you've watched some of my videos, you already know this, I like a mat about this size. So what I do is cut it 1/4 inch wider, horizontally and vertically. So if the photo's 4 3/4 horizontal by 3 1/2 vertical, you're going to cut it to 5 inches horizontal, which is 1/4 inch bigger than that, and 3 3/4 inches vertical, which is 1/4 inch bigger than that. I hope that makes sense. So you can just look at the measurements on here, because I had to cut the photos kind of unique sizes to make them fit. If you want to recreate this exactly, you can jot those measurements down. Take a screenshot of it. That's probably a good thing. And then this is the right-hand side. So you can take a look at those, screenshot that. Make sure you can see that. So here we go. This is the 2 pages together. You could always screenshot it and then zoom in on your computer. Okay, so that's how to make that. And you could do a lot of different ideas with this. I know that there was another idea. We used to have a decorative trimmer that did waves, and it went away a while ago. And when it did, we were all really sad because we used that a lot. But I thought, if they're going to do away with that, they're probably going to bring something better. And they did, because what they brought actually allows us to make 4 cuts using the custom cutting system instead of 2, which the trimmer did. But I've made tons of ideas using that trimmer, and I have a lot of those ideas on my YouTube channel. So if you see those, you can recreate them with these new tools. So you could put these, like you could do a layout where these are on the bottom, and make, like I did like a camping layout, and I made this look like water using 3 different colors of blue, like on a background piece of paper. You could do snowy pages. Like I could see light blue, dark blue, light purple, and kind of make it look snowy and sprinkle in some snowflakes and make a top border or a side border, and then just change the pictures based on that. So I hope you enjoyed learning about the new border tools, and I hope you like our new collection. I absolutely love it. I love the colors. I love the color combination, and it's just great. And we're going to put this A back here so it'll look like it's supposed to. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed that and have a wonderful day. Bye.